Hey, Ray, now that we're talking football, I want to ask, speaking of changes, they made a couple of rule changes recently.
Man, this ain't football no more. Man, I ain't gonna have this conversation. This ain't football. Here we go. I don't know what they playing. Now we done changed the whole conversation.
Since we on that kind of time, I was gonna ask. They made changes to the overtime rules where everybody gets a possession. At you being one of the greatest defenders of all time and believing in defense. Talk to me.
Why you listen, I'm arguing with the guys because I'm like, so the point is to give the offenses enough chances to touch the football. But suppose you got a good enough defense that say, good night, game over.
Yeah.
That's why the game was created, right? The game was created. Like, we keep taking the essence from defense away. Everything that we're doing, guys, if you think about the model, right? That's why I'm just being respectful, right, of the game. You don't go to games no more for the knockout hit. You don't go to games no more for the big hit. But that was the exclamation point.
Yeah.
Like, if you get careless enough and come across this middle, you're going to pay for that heavily.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was like when I was a kid growing up watching Lawrence Taylor. That was the biggest thing, was who's Taylor going to kill in this game? Because he's going to come up with them. Some quarterback going to drop back and he's just going to eliminate him and it's going to knock him out of the game. And you can't even touch a quarterback now.
It's just different, guys. Like, if you watch the game from my eyes, it belittles the essence of what a great defense means. Because now the intrigue in football is the pass rusher that can get to the quarterback and the quarterback. Everybody else is just pieces, right? Because it's like we don't talk about the essence of a quarterback on defense anymore. We just talk about somebody who's gifted enough to go get the quarterback, right? No, there's a science to that, right? There's a science to beating the Tom Brady's, to beating the Peyton Mannings, to beating the Drew Brees. There's a science in understanding what they're running and their formation recognition, so I can put my team in the best defense without the coach having to give it to me from the sideline, without using these boys like they're freaking pawns, right? So it's like I'm watching a die of the Mike Singletaries, the Willie Lanier's, the actual students of the game that understood so much knowledge about the game that the game was one side, but what we knew about the knowledge of it, we was gonna knock somebody out just because we knew what formation you was gonna run every route. So that essence of sports is for me what hurts the most. And then I think the second one is, as scary as it is once we created gambling, once we created odds, there's no more loyalty in sports. Loyalty is now gone. It's like, my favorite team is Green Bay, but I have Devontae Parker or somebody else on my
on my fantasy team. Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. So